There's a microphone wound up underneath something down there. I can't get a grip on it. Cannot stretch it to its full length. Yes, there we go. You lose 6 feet. Oh. At this point, we have... plane is about 30 minutes into a 6-hour or 5.5-hour flight to San Francisco. Say 5 hours. 6 to LA, whatever. And there are clearly two very disturbing passengers aboard. Back in case the other thing didn't pick it up, the Guts Ball, a novel and screenplay by Hunter S. Thompson. Yes, get that down. Copyright. And you have these two kind of super patriots who've come aboard. Both of them now smacking these footballs from fondling them. Kind of. One guy is doing it very tightly to himself. The second person is weeping, also weeping about Iwo Jima and why don't Americans have more pride in themselves. And it's about time Americans prove they love this country. And he's on the verge of a nervous breakdown himself. And talking about having just lost group leader so-and-so whose body is down in the baggage hall in the battle with a junkie somewhere near Singapore. And apologizing to the stewardess for having this emotional breakdown, but he was very close to group leader Swain. And since the group leader was gunned down like a dog for no reason by junkies in this battle in the dark back streets of Singapore, back alleys, yes, that are in the docks. This guy's apparently has no connection with the one up front. The one up front is a much more football coach-looking type. He looks like the kind of person who would not only smack a football around idly in his hands, but just perhaps stand up and center it oddly for some reason, right to the into the captain's gut, or just a complete stone jock type. Kind of big wild eyes, and stupid wild eyes, beady eyes, and just a football cartoon. Huge arms, and every time he drops the ball, he's clumsy with it. He drops it and it bounds down the aisle like a football will in strange angles. He comes out of his seat after it like a cougar, a puma, after meat, scaring the shit out of anybody that the ball seems to roll toward until he gets hold of it and he returns to his seat. And meanwhile, he's drinking heavily, as cops never do in the air. But after showing the stewardess his badge, after she's first accosted him to find out what it is that's causing him to smack his ball back and forth. But he was doing it apparently for healthy reasons. It was only when you begin to hear this echo of the ball smacking, and then the echo was out of sync. Then you realize that there was another person in the captain smacking a football, that you realize something weird was happening. That's when this kind of unhealthy-looking person first began to break down and mutter about and cry and sort of weep softly. There's signs of group hysteria, and the passengers all know they're being herded around, told to run first down against each other, throw the football back and forth, and runs, kind of strange, designing plays too, using the various chairs as blockers. People, one of these three, each one of the first two, numbers 1 and 2 are coaches for these opposing coaches. And they're screaming at their players, trying to draw diagrams for plays. Obviously beginning to take it very seriously, beginning to pour sweat and drawing out diagrams on pieces of paper and shoving them in front of people's faces, saying that we gotta get these last 3 yards while shouting and stomping the aisles. And actually forcing the passengers to participate in this twisted game. Guts ball. Are we getting a reading now? On the needle, yes. I think we have the basic plot pretty well under control now. The situation is set. One of the stewardesses is caving under the pressure and starting to gobble these quaaludes. Very shortly, she goes out. You can see her on the nod. So they've lost control of one, whatever stabilizing element one of the stewardess would have been. She's gone. And so there's only one in the first class compartment that I guess is communicating with people in the back and trying to keep under control. And also going up back and forth to the cabin. We still have no idea what the hell's going on up in the cabin, why they haven't landed or what they think about it. Just then the cabin door up front, the pilot's door opens and out strolls this kind of all-American boy co-pilot who kind of takes a look around, hear people throwing footballs around, laughing and grinning. And the other passengers in a state of just almost mute shock. These three guys are just giggling and throwing the football around. It appears to be just a normal scene, like a fraternity party with a bunch of footballs. And he says something that one of the stewardesses is trying to communicate some horror to him, but he kind of strolls out and disappears, goes back in and shuts the door. They'll have to be filmed in a way to convey that was their last hope. The passengers had their last shot there to communicate with the outside world. When that door is shut, that was like the gates of hell being closed on them. Because at that point, the minute the damn door shuts, these guys flip back out of these same three people, back out of their ho-ho, having a good time on the first class compartment trip to this menacing shit about the game, and that was halftime, and now it's whatever, it's maybe the 2-minute rule, some kind of terrible intensity, the pace steps up. Some of them are just weeping now, breaking down, but every time you break down, this lawyer gets on you, offering to file suit against the airline and file suit against the CIA and file suit against whatever police force is doing this. And all kinds of trying to make contracts on the spot, sense of the contract, all in our legal language. So the minute this plane touches the ground, we'll file suit. And meanwhile, it's clear that he's been injected with something. He's totally out of his mind. Well, but it's just amounts to it being hurled in the middle of a insane asylum, traveling from coast to coast in a compartment of a DC-10. Well, the beauty of the whole thing is the whole film could be shot in this one, it's like a Broadway play. It could be shot in this single room. No set, just that one set. Except possibly, just, we actually may as well just make a Broadway play out of it, too. Screen, live drama, novel, the whole thing. May as well do it all this time. Guts Ball. The Great American Novel. Let me have a flashback. Yeah, that's right. We could use flashbacks and dialogue with these people. Mumbling back and forth each other about lost dreams and memories, old childhood nightmares that come back on them, and even some of the passengers identify with. So nobody knows who's crazy after a while. Matter of fact, the lunatics appear, as usual, to be saner than the others because they're under no pressure. And I guess, maybe the captain could reappear and at this point have the cabin relatively calm. The game has been won. One coach is humiliated, the other is triumphant. Nobody's protesting any longer. They're all just kind of resting and gasping for breath. And the commander, number 3, has put some strange tape on. And the tape, by this time, puts a weird musical thing on, which is so clearly strange that it upsets the pilot or co-pilot, whichever one strolls back into the cabin. And now, for the first time, he realizes that something really unusual has gone on this flight. He begins to see the stewardess on the nod and people screwed up and falling out. But these guys are, the commander is talking to him very smoothly, and the other one, the CIA guy, is kind of crouched in the corner, and the jock is huddled in his corner. And there's only one football now visible. The commander is flipping it back and forth, rolling it around in his hands as he explains it. They just had a little game organized Guts Ball. And some of the people got a little tired, but it was a wonderful thing, and trying to institute it as a regular thing on the airlines. Every flight should have, every coast-to-coast flight should have this Guts Ball as a feature. And this lunatic possibly coming up with a contract to sort of seal it, offering writs of seizure and writs of this, and have these people arrested, file suit against the airlines. Well, I think maybe we've gone as far as we can here. Certainly far enough for anything like this. It's worth about $4 or $5 million right there. Got the screen, stage. What else? Well, we'll rest for half an hour, then we're going to be the judge at the ski thing. See? What day is it? Yes, Sunday. February 18th. Woody Creek. Lying in bed here in the Yellow Farm. Watching the sun come up with a head full of mushrooms. And having just created this outline for massive project, massive. But that's about it for now. It's March 30th, actually March 31st. Sunday night, Monday morning, Cozumel, Mexico. Sitting in this little round beach hut in the Barracuda Hotel. In case I lose control of the notes here, I'm going to try to set it here right. It's now 4:38 in the morning, Sunday morning, and I have to be up or moving about in about 3 hours, so of course there'll be no sleep. And one of the main reasons I came down here to the Caribbean was to cleanse my body, my soul, my whole operation of the dread speed. And I'm certainly glad that I've done that. It feels much better to be without speed. This gives me a sense of perspective. Particularly sitting here in Mexico with the water rolling up, the air conditioner rattling off to the right, palm thatch hut above me, and the light miraculously on out here. 4:30. I certainly want to write some now, because I want to warn future generations against the use of speed and booze too, and any mind-altering drugs. Tobacco, coffee, aspirin, Alka-Seltzer, cocaine. I think reality must be faced. I think Karl Marx said that. I certainly never argue with him because he appears to be proving out. Let's run that back a bit and see what it sounds like. Let's run in here for a second and pick up a little bit of the Gulf of Mexico so we can oppose it. More or less in terms of the sound to the Pacific, the Acapulco sound. This is the Gulf of Mexico kind of washing up, as it were, rather than smashing against the seawall here at the Hotel Barracuda. I just want to turn the light on. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Not sure myself. What would a person be doing out here? 4:30 in the morning. had to put some fins on and go out there in the darkness, water. It's very calm. It's peaceful. Whoops. That's about as heavy as it gets. The wave came right up on the stone steps where I'm crouched. Plump it down. The piece was interrupted. The piece ended here because the telephone went out. Couldn't use the mojo. Missed the deadline. Couldn't reach Thompson. And there was no word from him. We became concerned. At this point, Oscar Acosta, the infamous Dr. Gonzo of Las Vegas fame, appeared with his manuscript for his second book, complete, good health, totally under control. And he was living in Mexico, on his way to Mazatlan for a vacation after completing his book. To Mexico. And we asked him to, rather than Mazatlan, to go a little further south. And since he knew the country and got along well, spoke the language, that if he would go down and check on Thompson to try to find out what had happened. There was no word. 7 or 8 days had gone by, something like that. And we gave money for this.
Lots of money.
Yeah, give him $1,000. Or we should maybe, or maybe imply more. Yeah, so it.
Rather a big property.
Yeah.
Worth a lot more than $1,000.
Well, but they don't assume anything's wrong. They just assume that I'm out of touch. There's no.
Acapulco's a big town. It's modern.
That's true. We know Thompson's tendencies, and I could throw something in there in that thing saying maybe I'll go over and see Kissinger or something like that, rather than reject it out of hand. Possibly. The thing could end on that note, more or less, in my piece.
Yeah.
I could throw it. I'll have to write it. Okay. All right. They're already interested in the idea that Kissinger is down there. Now I'm down there, and they can't reach me. Yeah, you're being sent. I don't have to listen to the editor's note then.
I guess right off the bat, we ought to Gonzo to talk you in to writing or interviewing Kissinger.
That's right. Thompson's first story indicates that he wants to be part of Kissinger. That's right.
All right, so I get away from politics.
Yeah, but they want me to do it.
Yeah.
They can't reach me, so they send you down there to tell me to do the story. Like
remember in Las Vegas, the second part of Las Vegas starts out with Gonzo actually telling you, stay there. Remember, I've already made the deal.
Yeah.
So I mean,
okay.
Your attorney sort of has, or they think he's got that authority. They think.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Is that been dispatched? That's to make the. You've been dispatched to persuade me to write a Kissinger story in Acapulco. Then nothing happens for 4 or 5 days.
Editor's note again?
Yeah, still in the editor's note. Nothing, no word from anybody. We still couldn't reach Thompson. No word at all from Acosta. Then from you comes a telephone call. There's still editor's note. You're in the Las Brisas Hotel, which I've already mentioned. Mm-hmm. And you offered them the story of somehow either an interview or something with. Maybe you offered them just an interview with Kissinger. You offered them the same story that I was sent to do.
That I interviewed Kissinger?
Yeah, but then in the same editor's note, obviously Thompson, Acosta, and Kissinger were drinking. Getting along well. Apparently, the three of them somehow. Dr. Gonzo or Acosta's call said everything was fine. Want more money. Found Thompson with Kissinger. Cactus Juice, Soho, Las Brisas. A lot more money. But you're offering the story this time, which the editor was puzzled by. But anyway, he's still talking. All right, so that's a phone call.
Just a straight message.
have fun, Thompson. He's with Kissinger. Had dinner with him last night at the Club 69. Incredible conversation. Unbelievable drift in Chinese.
Watergate.
Something like that. Watergate, yeah.
Watergate was mentioned. What really happened in China was mentioned.
Send immediate, like $5,000 expenses at once to the Las Brisas Hotel, where clearly Kissinger's I've already got. Yeah. And she mentioned in the telegram well, the Club 69 will do for girls. She mentioned cactus juice in the telegram. All right. They still can't reach me at wherever I'm staying because of the mojo thing, but it's apparent in the editor's mind that I'm I'm with Kissinger all the time, doing something. Then suddenly comes the editor's still talking, this brutal phone call from Thompson, whose mind is almost gone now. He's
you've now
still in Acapulco.
You're still in Acapulco.
Asking for money to cut to fly to Cozumel, because you had taken the last of my funds and gone to Julian for dope and not returned with the money. And the last thing you did before that was get me beaten up somehow by, I can say, White House security guards. You know. So I was arrested, fucked over, not arrested. You caused a terrible scene in the Club 69. I was, because of this,
I was arrested?
roughed up. Well,
what if I caused such a scene you got so embarrassed and you just trying to sneak up?
Okay, maybe that's
what I'm saying is when you start talking about getting arrested and stuff like that, then those are pretty hard facts that, I mean, if you in fact got arrested or fucked over by the security guards, that would really lead to another story.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, arrested.
I embarrassed you so much, by my screaming at Kissinger, you just got so embarrassed, and then I took off and you decided, fuck it, man, I better get out of here.
I'm asking you for money to leave Acapulco now. You've gone with my money. And the reason I have to get out of there is because, contrary to Kissinger's image, you caused a scene in the Club 69, which is this is the first place I've mentioned it. The first admission I have made, even tacitly, that there's any weird connection of any sort between sex or like that. The first time, in a way, I'm confirming that there was something to your telegram, just by mentioning that Club 69.
Well, just admit that you went there.
Well, yeah, something happened there, and so that the reason that I got fucked over was because you tried to force Kissinger, Bachelor Acosta did something. I'll figure it out. Yeah. What'd you do?
I got these two broads that I knew from before to take Kissinger in the back room. He didn't know we were in a whorehouse. He thought it was just a club. There's a band. It's a nightclub, a band, bar. Yeah, there's a lot of broads.
It turns out that Kissinger never knew the clubs.
Right. Well, you can't. I mean, there's no sign that says this is a whorehouse. Yeah. They're clubs. I mean, tourists actually. Some husbands take their wives there. There's always about 100 beautiful broads sitting around.
That's perfect.
But there's actually a lot of people that don't know that they're in whorehouses. I took Sephora to a whorehouse, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know she was in a whorehouse until she started asking me, well, geez, who are all these girls? How come there's so many single girls here? Yeah, so I'm saying that Kissinger could very realistically go to a whorehouse without even knowing it's a whorehouse.
All right.
So you could actually not even go with him there. You could just run into him there, if necessary.
Well, the reason he got upset was that you tried to force him to, not force him.
I know. I got a couple of broads to go over there and start playing with his tits and playing with his prick and asking him to dance and he got all embarrassed and then I said, what's the matter? Aren't you the big playboy of the Western world? Murdering son of a bitch,
You turned on him. You got full of drugs.
And all the people that are with me because I know the whores, what the fuck I'm telling them in Spanish. See?
Yeah, but see, I got to do this in about 4 paragraphs.
Well,
4 sentences.
Well, I'm saying is, I got the.
Sorry, it's Fear and Loathing in Acapulco. Some kind of headline. A blaze of vicious subheads by Raoul Duke. And then it begins in the first person, due to my association. Well, whatever, that won't be the first line, but...
I mean, Duke was assigned to take care of Thompson. I mean, he's the one that sent off Thompson to Acapulco.
Yeah. And, well, actually, it should start off with saying that, for some reason or other, Dr. Thompson, after his political campaign, after 16 months in the trail and several seizures, in the course of finishing his book, went to Mexico for vacation, and I was assigned to work on the... Oh, what story? Fuck.
No, Thompson was just sent there for arrest.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. Yeah. And then, that's right, then... Well, but he's filing a story, right?
Yeah, but that's where the weird thing came up. After he was sent there for arrest, and a few days later, they get the first mojo wire. Saying,
That's right. Obviously, an excellent, peace of mind.
Off politics.
Yeah.
Had some problems with the car.
Drugs, no drugs.
No drugs. Ran into Kissinger, but no.
Yeah.
He's here. He's on vacation too.
That should be one of the last things in it. Or no, I think maybe the middle, and then his rejection of the idea should be one of the last things. Then, right in the middle of a sentence somewhere, the mojo wire goes dead. The phone goes dead. And that's it for a week. Then they begin to get worried. Because he mentioned something about him running. He had mentioned on the phone before the mojo wire broke, he was running out of money. Asking for some money, but they didn't know where to send it. And something like that. And then they became more and more concerned. And then it was right about then that you appeared in the Straight Arrow office. And they were concerned about knowing that even though Thompson seemed in good shape, his nerves were shot, he was a wreck. And you appeared in the Straight Arrow office with having just finished your manuscript in perfect health, on the way to your new home in Mexico, or your house, or your beach house or something. In total contrast to my condition, you're in excellent shape. And you're heading for your beach house in your Mazatlan. And Duke asked you, the editor asked you, as a personal favor, and to him and to me, if you would go on down to Acapulco, where you're known, you have friends, and deliver his money to me and check on me just to make sure everything's all right. And so they give you $1,000, for me.
Telephone call between Duke and Gonzo.
So that's what we were thinking in the first person. We were thinking about editor's notes before.
Yeah.
All right. Duke finally reaches you at the Las Brisas in your room at some weird hour of the night. He calls at 5 in the morning or something, or 6:30, or you're just coming in, and you're ugly, and you're drunk and weird. And he says, "Look, you gotta get out of there. You're fucking up." What an incredible story. Because I haven't denied that Kissinger told me these things about the Waterhood. Or you say, "What do you mean fucking it up?" I have an incredible story. I have it all on tape. God damn it. I haven't had this damn tape recorder off since I've been here. You can't believe what's happening. And it's my story. Thompson's just, he's...
Thompson's the one that's drunk.
Yeah, well, he and Kissinger are buddies. He's not going to write it. It's too private, too personal.
He sold out.
Yeah.
First he sold out to McGovern, now he lost with McGovern, now he's with Nixon.
That's right. Yeah.
He's just buckling for a job. He's going to run for senator.
That's right.
You can't trust those fucking politicians.
Right. Perfect.
Don't believe anything Thompson tells you. I see him. I'm telling you. I saw him last night. Club 69.
Yeah. He's there every night. And flying, also with Kissinger at different times. Frequently. Yeah, that's right. And he's eating those goddamn mushrooms again. You can't pay any attention to what he says when he's eating those fucking mushrooms. And then you say, and Duke says, "We told me they were very peaceful, very, quiet drug." And you say, "Bullshit. It drives you wild. It's like a combination of Jimson weed and cocaine or something, methadone. And it makes you babble like a lunatic."
He's worse than ever.
Yeah, worse than ever. All right, at that point, Duke realizes that Thompson is onto something, a hell of a story. Whether I ever write it or not is something else. The girls are laughing. Every once in a while, Thompson's voice comes in, trying to calm things down, but not neither confirming nor denying what Gonzo is saying. Like, Gonzo can be saying, I heard you say, don't lie to me, you little faggot. These girls told me about you, you impotent little motherfucker, you Nazi.
And the Spanish thing, too.
Yeah, a lot of Spanish, yeah. And music, and they can just barely make it out. They have to go out and buy a set of special earphones to listen to the damn thing. And but they know they have something. Or, at least there's a chance they have something. So they try to call me and Cozumel immediately, like, ye gods, did this happen? I mean, like, we haven't. He sent the tape, but they can't reach me in Cozumel, and they have nothing. They have no address for you in San Antonio, except general delivery. And there's a warrant out for your arrest, which they put out, or sworn out or whatever. So they try to get hold of me to try to confirm this tape as to whether you just hired somebody to make it, or... But there's enough in it that they can recognize my voice occasionally and your voice, and the German voice. So, it could be Kissinger. Almost has to be, they assume. But Kissinger never says any of these things directly. You're talking for him. You're saying, I heard that's what you said. But they can't get me in Cozumel at the Hotel Barracuda, because the desk guy says I went out diving on the Palancar Reef, and the Duke is surprised by that, and particularly by... He'd been surprised earlier when I asked for all that diving equipment, because he knew I didn't know what... I shouldn't be diving in a place like that. Goddamn Palancar Reef.
Especially with drugs.
Yeah, with all these drugs in my condition. Good God. So he's a little worried, but he can't reach me, so he leaves a message for me to call him at once, collect, when I return from diving that day. And there's somebody, Dr. Zingeling on the line, or Dr. whatever, some name, asking for Duke. So he knows, knows that's what it is. They can't figure out why the doctor's calling. And the doctor says, when Duke comes on, the doctor says, the doctor is speaking pidgin English. He can't quite make himself clear, but Duke understands that it's an emergency situation. That Thompson has been rushed back from Palancar Reef with a Benz. He ran out of air, or something happened, they don't know what, and came up like a bullet out of the water, and has a serious case of the Benz, might die. And they need to charter a plane at once, but nobody there has enough money, and Duke can't quite, it's one of these situations where you can't communicate really. The guy's asking for $3,000 to charter this plane, charter a plane to get Senior Thompson to Dr. Thompson, whatever, to Miami, where that's the closest decompression chamber. Otherwise, you'll die in Cozumel. You'll be permanently crippled. The bends are horrible. The tape has to be left. The confirmation of the tape has to be left totally up in the air. Mm-hmm. Duke, the story ends with Duke not knowing, is waiting for me to get out of the decompression chamber. But when he calls down there, they say it might be weeks, or something. So that's right. That's the ending. Well, there's the first symptom of this goddamn evil drug. I just spent 20 minutes running down my personal reaction to a fairly large load of cocaine taken tonight in preparation for reading Sigmund Freud's cocaine papers, and reading it, excerpting it, and writing a sort of an introduction, review, or rebuttal, or whatever. Rolling Stone. This is Monday, it's actually Tuesday morning, June 18th. Continuation of Monday night. First, I noticed that I have a definite slur in the voice, almost a drunken sounding condition. And in fact, I'm not drunk. I drunk less tonight than most normal nights when I'm even working or writing. And that recalls a condition that I've noticed with coke off and on with other people. It seems to induce a kind of very speedy interior reaction with a very sloppy, neo-drunken exterior reaction, or symptoms. Jesus, I do seem like I've been beaten in the teeth with some kind of a mush hammer. Well, that's what it's all about here. That's what we're trying to do. Test my reactions against Freud's theories. Or his wisdom, however it turns out. And the only physical or mental difference I felt when I got back after, say, 3 margaritas, that was about all I had, was a slight feeling of speed. And I'd say slight and much milder than any normal sort of speedy feeling. The kind of speed I'd use to work, say. Coke is not a working drug. It's a social drug. At least that's, just for starters, a good distinction to make. Then, what most people consider an excessive amount of Coke in a 6-hour period. My left eye feels like somebody's driven a nail in it. There's nothing in it. I've checked that. It's a very distinct pain in the left eye. The inside of my mouth is very dry. My tongue feels like it's twice its normal size. My voice is very hoarse. And I feel something sort of akin to a speed reaction, but different. I feel more like, say, staring at the fire reading Conrad than I do any kind of work or any sort of accomplishment-oriented thing. I'm drinking some coffee now to see if it'll have any decent effect on me. So that's aside from the fact that my eye is now falling out of my socket, or its socket, and banging against my cheekbone. As I say, I feel just fine. I'm going to bed, watching the fire, and let's try this book. Fuck it. It's now 4:20 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, June 17th, right? 17th? 18th, yeah. I put some Op-Talk in my eye to try to cure that. It helped for a while, but now it's just as bad. Plus I can see the dawn coming up, so I want to read just a bit more and go to bed unless I experience an episode of soaking sweats and great fear and anxiety, which wouldn't necessarily be due to the Coke. At least I can blame it on that. This is Wednesday night, which means it must be June 19th. Actually, as usual, it's Thursday morning, which means June 20th. It's the 3rd day of our cocaine experiment. And there are 2 main factors that appear to be emerging here. One is that I'm fucking tired of having my mouth feel like muskrats have gnawed the inside out of it, which is sort of like having the worst of a speed reaction without the best. And number 2 is that I have no desire to read further in that fucking book. But with regard to the book and excerpting it and writing something about it, the feeling I have now after 3 days of this, I don't seem to be physically harmed by it, which at first I sort of feared, having procured enough to kill 4 mules over a period of 3 days. And having gone into it to the point where yesterday I came right to the point of a respiratory seizure. But despite all this and sort of putting the physical reactions aside, I think in terms of the writing, the only way I see this thing is working, the quotes around that word, is in the contrast between my own reactions and the whatever's in Freud's book, his diagnosis and prognosis and predictions and disappointments. I would not be inclined, after this experiment, to actively pursue a life constantly flavored or influenced or under the sway somehow of cocaine. And I would hardly advise it. On the other hand, I wouldn't advise anybody to use most of the drugs that I've dealt with from time to time. I wouldn't advise against it across the board, but nor would I advocate it. But there are degrees of advocacy, or lack of it. And in that area, I would say that coke would rank very close to the bottom of my list of things that I would think in terms of enjoying either consistently or sporadically at some later date. The odd thing about it, though, which suddenly occurs to me, putting down this glass of wild turkey, which I consistently and sporadically enjoy almost constantly, is that despite that feeling, not only I, but most of the people I know who are into it, seem to be totally unable to resist the opportunity to buy coke. And this is where it gets puzzling. This is where you get into the difference between a working social drug, or the difference between coke and psychedelics. Say, it seems to be very important to be able to have coke in a social context. To be able to offer it in some ways is more important than the benefit you get from it personally. There appears to be some minimal, but at least noticeable, physical or erotic quality to it. That's about the best I can say for it right now. But nothing anywhere near the effects of mescaline or MDA, mescaline, or mushrooms. So we'll leave it at that right now. It's, let's see, 11 minutes of 4 on Thursday morning. Betty bye. Put the screen on the fire, shut the door, shoot the peacock, set fire to the lawn in order to keep the narcs away, and make a lot of telephone calls and threaten all these motherfuckers who have been after me all this time, those dirty bastards. I know who's been doing this. My whole life is threatened by these scumbags. That's what I should do, get on the fucking telephone, of course. Why didn't it occur to me? Yeah, let's get the black curl spoon here and get ready for that. Why did I not hear this before? Oh, well, thank God it came to me before it was too late. All right, that's segment 2. There'll be one more, and that'll be it. Now we're into segment 3. After a brutal struggle with a tape recorder here. Let's see if... yes. This experiment has not only destroyed my brain, but also my tape recorder by some kind of strange osmosis. This is the 4th night of this dreadful experiment. June 28th, I think it's a Friday. We are at the garden at 2018 California Street in San Francisco. My name is Yale Bloor, and I have some observations to make on the use, abuse, and
experimentation with and about the drug cocaine, in conjunction with an assignment for Rolling Stone to review, for the purpose of possible excerpts, Sigmund Freud's book entitled Cocaine Papers. The idea of this tape was to record my own reactions as I went through the attempt to excerpt the book. And some of the reactions I didn't, here comes a fucking tractor by on the road. Yeah, hello, tractor. Some of the things that we didn't get into were discussions of impotence, madness, and the 6th and 7th day freakout, during which time I found myself, among other things, standing in a freezer for about 4 hours, doing as much coke as it was physically possible to do with people I'd never seen before, and also things like spilling 2 grams on a rug, and having to snort it out of the rug with first the attempt of a vacuum cleaner and then straws. An extremely depraved and degrading and embarrassing circumstance to find myself in, and yet at the same time completely mad, with no sense of values at all, just except to seize it, get the stuff, which I still don't understand. I've got to figure out more about this. I don't. One of the puzzling things about coke is the desire for it, despite any ability to explain why the desire for it exists. And there are plenty of things in the book which I've marked dog-eared and all that, but which we don't have time for here. So, as we push up to 138, we're at 130 now, all I can say is that this tape was never meant to be a commentary on the book. It's the commentary on the person who is excerpting the book and the wretched experiences that accompanied what amounted to 7 days now, and I'm God damned if there'll be any more. So the book itself will have to be dealt with at another level. Just for now, we have to say hello, and for now on it's all downhill, but it's all, at least most of it, recorded.
Minutes à Kinshasa, 11h55 dans l'est du pays. Quand le 27 octobre 1971, le nom est devint la République du Zaïre, quand ce jour-là, c'est-à-dire le 27 octobre 1971, changeait vraiment d'appellation et fut baptisé Zaïre.
Right here, it's, I don't know what time it is, sometime in the early morning, right here in the lifeguard shack, way away from the hotel. We attracted a huge crowd with Ralph taking his instant Polaroid pictures, one of each. National Affairs desk is now located about 100 yards toward the Atlantic or the Congo from the hotel. It's raining, and nobody knows why we're out here. We've been swimming, and they set us up, as a matter of fact, in a sort of a place with a roof over it. We've attracted a massive crowd with the waiters and helpers and workers taking those shots of that spit out the picture instantly. So now Ralph is talking to all of our new friends, right? And the sun's coming out. And it's early, it must be somewhere around noon. And Ralph just got here. Several hours ago. Here he is. If you know Ralph Steadman, artist, raconteur, hustler,
Le cigare bien,
punk.
le cigare bien intéressé. Hein? Les places intéressées.
Oui.
Oui.
Ce n'est pas, nightclub. No. Interesting.
Yeah, we should just relax for a second.
I think we
I
should.
don't know if we're recording or not. I can't tell. You never know with these German machines.
It's going.
We'll
turn it up. Unless you want to talk about what we're going to do.
Oh, let's see.
Well, look, the whole place.
Assume the psychological burden of the art.
Well, I've assumed. It seems to me that you're out of shape. You just can't handle anything.
Yeah,
and I think you're a passenger. On this one. I think that's it.
That's what I told you.
Assume
you're
a passenger. And I've got to be the one that produced the goods.
Yeah, I'll help if I can, but you can't count on.
I might even write it.
My concept. But you should write it.
Write the bloody thing, and I'll give it to you to write add your notes. Footnotes. You put some footnotes by Doug.
Just captions. That's what I told him. Just end up doing captions for the picture.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But he was insistent that we do,
I know the special thing.
Same old thing. But if we have enough art, then
I gathered from you on the phone when we spoke, the very first time when you first mentioned it, when a month or two ago, and you said, "Look, Ralph, it's Zaire," and I'd never heard of Zaire. And then you said, "Well, let's make this a big one because I reckon we ought to cool it for a while and go out on a warm note." Was your go out on a warm note, which was a nice phrase. And I thought, well, that's it. You want to do something. I mean, you've got to get Gutsball together.
That's right.
You've got to get.
You probably have to illustrate Gutsball. So you probably have to illustrate. Like
well, I could do it.
That's what I'm going to push on them. Another Vegas. That's what I'm billing Gutsball as another Vegas, which means that you'd be illustrating the same, same little book.
I'd like to make that the last Madness.
That'd be the last, the one of it dies. But,
no, I don't mean that. I mean kind of madness where you really the ultimate thing and do it, and then do something gentle to change.
Lying down on the bed in this thinking little room. Ralph has the big room across the hall. It is now 6:12 on the watch, which is a little fast. And we're approaching what will have to be one of the closest experiences to mortal vicious hell that men of any color have ever experienced. That is to say that the government and the promoters, whoever decision it was, we don't know, has canceled all the press passes, all previous press passes, and decided to issue new ones at 7 o'clock in some small office near the Memling Hotel, or behind it. What's going to happen is, it's hideous to describe or even think about. What they have done, the government at the last minute, according to the promoter, requisitioned 200 of the 450 press seats, leaving a big chunk of the press with no seats. People have come from God knows where, miles, thousands of miles, traveling for days to get this stinking shock. I went through things this afternoon at the government boxing commission, where I lost all control of myself. They were waiting for hours and hours and hours in a stinking little room to get the goddamn little pass. And ended up screaming at this fucking promoter, claiming he hadn't done his goddamn job and it was my fault. The thing was hopelessly fucked up. It was his fault that he was paid for. He's a punk, asshole, and a loser, which didn't go over too well in the crowded little office of the boxing commission. So we have indelibly impressed the Rolling Stone image on the minds of elementary promoters with the government. And we're still no closer, really, to having press seats than we were 3 days ago. It is now 6:16. I'm going to have to go down and meet Stedman in the bar. Sure, we will go there. rent fight these fucking tickets to a fight that I do not want to go to. I'd much rather go almost anywhere in that goddamn stadium tonight. It's beyond my comprehension. This fight could be any good. It would break the whole mold. Nothing that's fucked up could be worth it then. The important thing now is to get out of this place. To make sure tomorrow that we have everything locked up, secured in terms of reservations, tickets, money, forms, all that crap. I just flee this goddamn star-crossed, godforsaken country. And I have every reason to believe we won't see the fight tonight. And if we don't, it will certainly not be just me and Ralph. There'll be several hundred foreign press won't see it. And I'm going to make damn sure I'll get Mailer's arm as I'm thrown out and drag him out with me. Somebody's going to pay for this. This ugly, ugly situation. I've seen bad promotions, bad, hideously disorganized rock concerts, fundraising picnics. Nothing approaches the hideous disorganization, the goddamn venal madness of this. The irony is, all the other fitting. You reach a point here where you just don't give a fuck anymore. The idea is to get through the next hour. Who the fuck is it? I told you to moan, goddammit. That's the password. Oh, hello. Excuse me, but I thought you were, Stedman. Maybe you are. Plus, this. Let's see. Got the ticket? No? Do I have any tickets? We'll soon see if I got it. I'm going to beat some of the huge going here. You can think of the natives, they're not, What is it?
No, thanks.
Oh. Get away from here. I'm going to fight in 20 minutes. Oh, Christ. Let me with you. Maybe he has one A. If he doesn't, I'll kill him. Oh. Fiendish. I think it's so bad, there's no way to write a story about it. It's beyond journalism. Beyond the heart of darkness. It's hideous. It's beyond anybody's grasp. We get to sit out in that stadium for 5 or 6 hours in those chairs or standing in the mob and sit there? I'm not sure I can accept that. Going to the stadium at 8 o'clock and you don't know anyway. Fuck, why would I ask you about that? You don't go to work for anything. Tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock in the hotel lobby. I mean, many ugly little weird scores settled. People punching each other out, whacking each other in the side of the head, Don King being carried off to jail. Numerous scores will be settled. In the morning, and I can't think of anyone who is any happy to settle with me. I'm just talking to myself, Ralph. I'm working.
That's your point.
Thank you for the point. I always wanted to fight. I knew that somebody as sensitive as you would give me one.
I knew. Just a moment that you needed one.
Yeah, that's right. I was sitting here wishing that I had a fucking pipe to snap in half. Well, I'd have a huge billy club. I'll let it crack from one stick. I hate to leave the room. I know we're heading for trouble. Serious fucking trouble. We're gonna get whacked tonight. And there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. We're in Africa. They make all the rules. They enforce the rules. And the leverage we have here is ugly, menacing flashes. I'd almost be willing to lay even money when we get in the stadium. You know, something wretched will happen. No, I mean, the tension is going to be so good.
Got to be in.
Well, they'll get us in. They'll turn us loose in that goddamn mob. That's what he said.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and get your seat in the stands. You know, our list, those motherfuckers. They couldn't make a goddamn list. Speaking of that, Speaking of that, it's 70 minutes to 7.
I know we got to go.
Nightmare starts at 7.
We really should go.
I've tried. Listen, all day long is lie down and listen to music. That's all I want to do. Just
I'll let you do it.
simple. I can't now. Of course, I haven't been able to all fucking day, and that's ugly.
I mean, I'm serious.
There's no way we can conceive what's going to happen to us tonight. Ugly, vicious shit beyond our understanding is going to come down, and in fact, it already has been. Cigarette books, some pipe cleaners, half bottle of scotch. There's no way to carry ice or get ice in that goddamn place. Let's take the ice, this bucket with us. Fuck, we may as well get it on. You know, last drink for the doomed gentleman. All right, what else we need? We have the binoculars, we got the tape recorder,
Yeah.
writing stuff.
Cameras in here, it's an amazing coat.
You got your
cameras in here.
That's nice. That's
Pretty good. Just the way I got
The red comes out. It's very efficient. Of course, they're not going to press these photos at all because there are not that many seats. And we're fucking out of sitting around here talking, aren't we? Okay, on to the Mumbling Hotel.
Let's go.
We have those to call a meeting here. I think everybody should be here at 7. We're in a relatively desperate situation, which I've described. Not showed up themselves. There's no conceivable reason why somebody couldn't just be here to keep the crowd calm down and organized. The room now is full of 300 people. The halls are full, we're jammed into a corner. It's getting worse and worse. There's no reason at all, I think, that it's starting. Whatever it is, it's a botched, rotten fucking operation.
Most important time.
Mabuto's presence coming out of the clouds and the TVs up in his room.
There's God there.
Combination of Mao and Muhammad and God knows who else. Unsmiling, hard,
Total God.
stone face.
Waiting for something to happen.
Clouds swimming in front of the camera there.
What is that official of gods too? Little gods, but they're gods. They're all up there.
No, that's him alone.
Look at it.
He's not moving, is he? That's a still photograph.
He's pulling clouds across him.
Well, what is that? That's a zebra hat. What is that? Zebra?
Zebra hat, yeah.
No, leopard, goddammit.
No, the hat thing on his head. No, zebra hat, yeah.
Zebra?
No, it's leopard.
That's what it's Oh.
I know. I realise it's difficult this time of night, but it's rather important that we just, we're able to get through. And I thought there may be somebody there that could advise us. We were told to call. You see.
At this door. At the first.
I know it's difficult for you to do it because it's, it's a big situation. To have to call somebody, such as the president. But we were asked to call there this evening, and. Well, I'm doing that now in the hope that, everybody seems to be awake now because of the fight, The big fight is on and it's coming up. And everyone's awake, so I don't feel as though I'm imposing, on anybody.
We're going to take pictures of him.
I'd like to, it would be lovely to take pictures of him, during the fight and generally,
8:07.
Yeah. Shall I wait here and wait? Oh, I'll phone. Yes, I'll put the phone down, right? Yes, thank you. He's gone all weird now. He's got to find out.
I think we got a stress.
Huh?
I got Senior, or this is Jacques. Fallen over, John, in the press office. He's the head of the press office.
The guy that we talked to.
He told us to call.
I know, yeah.
You know, if these guys are freaked out, you know, everybody we know is gone now. We're make it alone. We can't
Funny
figure
thing
it out.
is really anyone's here.
That's what I mean. But a soul here, you know?
Yeah.
We could be taking the fucking bronze off. If this situation's gonna exist now for about 4 more hours. So, plenty of time to get through. This is funny. Well, what we've done here now, and we may as well sit it down, is decide not to go to the fight. Which was a result of that horrible press situation. You've seen that room, they're waiting
That's old.
for Chicho.
Go on a television set, something. Fucking room.
I don't care what's happening. But I'd like to.
We'll get through
This
this.
thing's over. I'd like to go to sleep. But we don't dare on just hang. I mean, I think we saw the door. What we're trying to do is call Maputo in his home, which was a notion that came up.
I know.
Idle conversation between me and Vinegar. And he says something like, "Why don't you call him?" And I said something like, "What I really have to do is watch it on television. But the only person in town who has a set is the president." And he said, "Why don't you call him?" You know. And I said, "Well, yeah."
Good idea.
So I just
It's
walked
just
over
fantastic.
and called
The
him.
whole thing.
That's where it started. And you called him, dealing in French, and panicked the security people. This is very bizarre, us being here in a hotel. Yes, 120,000 people or something out there at the stadium. They were trying to call the fucking president to see if we can watch it on television. And we're giving away the ringside press tickets and brush pens, macaron. Fuck it, I don't see
That's fun.
I can't recall ever watching a story this thoroughly. Watching anything, frankly, this thoroughly. This is hard to beat. We really have no tickets, right? We're back here in a completely jammed economy, whatever they call it. We have first class tickets. We try to get off at Lagos, or we planned to, and they told us we had reservations at the airport hotel. It was like going to a jail. One of the most frightening scenes I've seen in a long time. Those people were waiting for us. It was like a bunch of sharks.
Well, it was like a barracuda fish tank.
Oh yeah, we were in serious trouble there. And it's an instant decision. It was so menacing that
I began to talk to
get on to New York right away.
I began to talk to the official, and suddenly I saw you at the top of the flight of stairs up to the aeroplane. I thought, that's it, out.
Well, I saw the others inside. And if we'd said there would be a Nigerian jail right now, no question about that, because I was right on the verge of flipping out. Luckily, one of the stewardesses and
Captain.
a pilot was into it. I think it was a co-pilot.
He was very nice. Just
a couple helped us out tremendously. We got us back on the plane, which took a hell of a lot of work, considering the fact that I was carrying 2 huge illegal elephant tusks. What do they weigh a piece, you think? 20, 30 pounds?
Each one must be. Each one must be. The way they one even got so helpful, the people that one of the air hostesses carried one of the tusks for us. But insisted until we got to where we wanted to go.
She really wasn't thinking, because that's raw ivory.
Really know.
It's poached and it's illegal. And we barely got it out of Zaire, only by virtue probably of chaos. Well, let's see. So then we're en route to New York in the cattle section, asking the stewardess for feed bags, alfalfa. This was one thing we can't take away from it, though. Is it? We have to admit, from everything we heard, it really was a good flight.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you saw it. I mean, you
I was there. I saw the movie.
There were 20 heads of state.
Oh, that's the whole thing.
Naked.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't just I could feel they were just sort of totally. they've been sort of smoking something or doing something because, well, I fell a little out of it for a moment, you know. Sort of handing me this thing, this funny thing. I thought, well, all right, try me once, you know.
They treated you very much like a curiosity.
I think so. They thought, what's it? How to, you know, to just phone up.
One more freak.
Go in on this thing and just try it and find out why I should. And when they turned the limousine turned up for me, you know, at the hotel. I told them I was in white, you know. I got the safari suit on. I had to identify myself, so I was.
It was a good move though, because if I had gone, which would have been logical.
No, the point of it is just enough friendship. Just enough friendship to get together.
But they really kind of abandoned you once you got there, right?
Well, not for the moment. No, first they humored me. You know, they went along with what I was trying to do.
You said you were introduced to anyone else.
Unfortunately, I bought this sketchbook out from my back here, in my backside. You know, I just kept it. Since I found this thing here, almost like James Coburn in Magnificent Seven. You know, when you have his knife in the back of his trousers here.
How many people were there? About 75, 100? And roughly,
what?
How many people overall, including women and hookers and servants?
Well, that sort of thing. I should say about 75, but not more than that. No, I wouldn't say it. In fact, I'd have
20 heads of state.
No, 20 heads of state, yes.
No,
but that would be
must
absurd.
It's interesting, though, the fact that I didn't go to the fight infuriates Lippman.
Yeah, well,
he's been brooding about it. You heard his outburst.
Yeah, no, he said, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you got nothing. I wrote that bit down. I wrote that bit down, you know. You must be sick.
Yeah. Well, of course, nobody can understand.
Yeah. All this way. Anybody who comes all this way to Kinshasa to see a fight that doesn't go must be sick. I wrote this thing down.
Did he use the word sick?
Exactly. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I know that. I remember that word particularly because I wrote it down in big SIC.
He lost it for a second there. For a minute or so.
You got nothing.
I'm sure a lot of people think that. Just he's the one who said it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Would you kindly check your seat that your seatbelts are securely fastened at this time?
Thank you, yes. That is not. Let me see how far we have to go here.
We have been talking with our company in Dakar. They tell us that there is a huge crowd at the airport here at Dakar. They think that Muhammad Ali is on board this aircraft.
Oh my Christ.
And they don't seem to be able to convince them. The authorities cannot convince the crowd that he is not on this aircraft. As a result, that will be the reason that we are not taxiing in if you see us stopping after we have left the runway. It is very possible that they will keep us away from the ramp area and move you in by bus. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear from here.
Oh, really? By Zaire?
In any case, we're expecting to be at the terminal building, or should be at the terminal building, in about 12 minutes from now.
Oh, wow.
Car now, people are moving out. There's a huge... The windows are very misty. You can see really hundreds of people running, being chased by police around the plane.
So we'll just have to sit here until the authorities can disperse the crowd. I hope you'll bear with us.
Well, we're seeing on the runway a mob outside the plane. They can't seem to convince them that Lee is not on the plane. Misty windows here in the rain outside. They can't see in, and we can just barely see out. All we see is fuzzy
Would you
white.
kindly take your seats? Ladies and gentlemen, kindly take your seats. Monsieur, essayez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
Go somewhere else?
Well, I don't think it'll hurt you now, really.
They look peaceful.
They're peaceful, right?
All of a sudden you get these bursts of movement, people running. But people are coming on board, they're terrified, eh? He's not on board?
Can you imitate Ali's voice?
Yeah, just
Coming from under the seat, you know, somebody saying, I'm the greatest.
He's back in the back. Just one more long, weird hump in this fucking sky. It's so weird that there's no point in writing it. It's too weird. We've gone beyond the fantasies. Reality has gone beyond fantasy. Here, Bob, turn over the airplane and set it on fire.
Yeah, that's the trouble, is to find out it's not on board. And they set fucking thing on fire, that's right.
Probably is on board. We didn't know it.